Hey everybody, welcome to the Player's Take, episode 31. I'm your host Justin DeSimone, joined by my co-host, a man lost at sea, Montrell Rice.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going, man?
All right, how you been?
I'm good. How was your trip to Padre? I heard some fun stories at work, but you haven't told them to me. So.
Yeah, I've been keeping you out the loop.
Yeah.
No, it was cool. I mean, we went to Padre and we went snorkeling. That was really fun. It's easy. It's really easy to swim in salt water. I didn't know how easy it was to swim out there because it was really dense. So saw a couple of stingrays and stuff like that.
Any sharks?
No, I didn't see any sharks.
Ooh, okay.
What else I do? I went parasailing.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw your video that you
Yeah.
posted on Twitter, and I was like, man, if he drops his phone, he's going to murder himself.
Yeah, I was holding my phone for dear life.
That's gone.
Yeah.
If you drop that, that's gone. You're done.
The guy said, though, he was like, he's like, I've been doing this for about whatever, how many years, and he's like, no one's never dropped the phone with me.
Yeah.
So he's like, you can take your phone up there. I promise you won't drop your phone. And I'm like, okay. So that's what I did, and I was holding it really hard. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool though. I went jet skiing, which is the most boring thing ever in life.
Really?
Yeah, that shit's boring as fuck.
Wait, jet skiing as in like behind? You were like behind the boat, right? Getting dragged on the.
No. Jet skis like from room.
Oh, you're talking about those?
Yeah.
Dude, those look fun as fuck. What the hell, man? How is that boring?
It was fun for like the first 10 minutes, bro.
Really? And then you were like, where do I go?
Yeah, exactly.
Man, you need someone there to like race you or something.
Yeah, my girl, she didn't want to get on one, so.
Ah, man.
Yeah, so she's gone behind with me, like was holding on to me. So
yeah.
Yeah. If I probably had like another dude bro there, it probably would have been better.
We totally would have raced, and then we would have gotten in trouble.
Those things are fucking flimsy and fast as fuck.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you can flip and kill yourself so easily.
Yeah, it's crazy. Then I went to the beach on the other side of the island. That's where the waves were coming in, and that's where I almost died twice.
Yeah.
In the same day, 20 minutes apart. So the first time I was on a boogie board. I never did a boogie board before.
Yeah.
So I was on it, and I didn't know I was supposed to strap the thing to myself.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! I didn't know I was supposed to strap the thing to myself. So when I did that, I was on it, and the day that we went, or the day that we were on the beach, we were on the beach the day before. Like winds were calm and everything, but I guess today, like shit was getting crazy.
Yeah.
It was getting like 6 or 7 foot waves and shit like that. So,
Ooh, dang, dude.
So you can go out pretty far before they start getting really high, and I wasn't even out that far.
Yeah, I know. I've been there before.
Okay,
you can go out probably 100 feet, maybe even more, before you're at the point where you're not standing anymore.
Exactly, but it's some dunes in between there that can get you, that can trip you up a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's what happened with me. I got caught in like a dune part.
Okay.
And the riptide pulled me in, and I couldn't feel my feet. Even though I know how to swim now, I couldn't feel my feet, and I panicked. And I was underwater for about maybe 30 seconds. And then I got up, and I swam back to shore. I just rode the wave and swam back to shore. And I came out crawling. I was crawling the thing like this. And she was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I'm okay, just give me a couple seconds."
Dang, dude, 30 seconds, man.
Yeah, I was under there for about. I was struggling. I came up I was struggling for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So that was pretty scary because like I didn't realize no one can hear you. This is my first time being in the ocean with like actual waves.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize like no one can hear you, even though there are lifeguards on duty. Yeah. Like it was a lifeguard truck right in front of me, and they couldn't see me or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the second time, me and my girlfriend went out there, and she's a way better swimmer than me, and she was on a boogie board, and the wave caught her. And then she didn't go under, but she lost the boogie board came from under her, and she couldn't feel her feet, so she started screaming and stuff like that. And then she got a hold of herself. But by the time I was already trying to come get her, like, what can my ass do? But I just instinct just kicked in, right? After I did that, we got separated by a wave. So a wave came up. I was swimming towards her, and the wave came up, and then it came down, and then she was gone.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you had no idea where she was.
I had no idea she was on shore. she's like, it's the transmission over the shore, right? So I'm like out there, like I'm like 500 feet from shore.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
So
that's far.
Yeah, I'm like at least 500 feet from shore, and I was just floating like on the boogie board, and I was cool. But she was screaming for help, so someone to come get me. The lifeguard came out there, swam me back to shore, and was like, "Oh, you're really calm." So that time, I didn't go underwater. I didn't get any water in my lungs. The first time I did, I was scared that time. But this time, I wasn't.
Even though you were way closer to shore.
Than
the first time.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the second time, I was just like stranded out at sea.
Man, you can't even take a vacation without like something horrible happening to you.
Hey, man, it was fun. I gotta live life on the edge.
Hey, man, you'll be able to tell your kids that story someday.
Yeah,
you know?
And it was crazy because there were like kids out there and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
oh yeah, dude.
And
it's a vacation destination.
Yeah, but it's just like I got pulled under really quick, so I can only imagine how quick a kid would get pulled under.
Yeah. Oh man, it's terrifying.
Yeah,
they got the water wings down. They can,
yeah,
they'll be all right. Yeah.
I did see like before I went out there, before I even took my first swim out there, I did see parents like maybe like 10 or 12-year-old kids were like playing around their boogie boards, and parents were like, this one lady was like flipping out on her kids. And I didn't understand why until I actually got out there, and I'm like, okay, now I understand why she's flipping out on them, because they were like far down and everything like that. But like I said, that day the winds were kind of calm, so they were only getting like maybe 2 or 3 foot waves.
Yeah.
But when I was out there, I was getting about 6 feet. I
mean, I remember when I was there. I was there last year, and I remember the waves getting pretty high, but I don't know. It was kind of weird. It was just like the water shifting really high. It didn't feel like waves, Was it a similar thing?
I called those waves, but yeah, like the water was the water was shifting like super high.
Yeah, so I was kind of out there. I was out there. I was probably at about 4.5 feet deep, or maybe 5 feet.
I was too, right? It was like at my waist, and then the water would come above my head.
Yeah, well, that's what. So what what I was doing. I was like jumping every time the wave came.
Yeah, I did too.
I was just kind of like playing with it, So I found that fun. But yeah, if you fuck that up.
Yeah, I feel it's like because the lifeguard was like, where you're at was a hole. Like she's like, there's a hole right there. So that's the part when I jumped into that part. Oof. And that's when I lost my footing and kind of like start panicking because I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And you can't really see anything because the water's so salty, so it's hard to see.
You need goggles if you were gonna see anything. Well, that's fun. Fun adventures in Padre, man, dude.
But besides that, I had a lot of fun. Like, it was really cool.
Did you relax on the beach?
Yeah, I did take your advice. The first day I slept on the beach.
You just laid there?
Yeah.
Dude, it's so relaxing. It's crazy how relaxing it is. Like,
I was going to play my Switch. I did play it for about maybe an hour, and then I put it down, and then I just laid down on the beach. And I didn't even think I could fall asleep on the beach, but I did.
Dude, yeah, no, I did too. I totally did too. Yeah, it's weird, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Cool, man. Well, I'm glad you had fun.
Yeah, man.
It's a good time. Yeah, I want to go back. I only went for like 2 days, so.
Oh, yeah, we went for a whole week.
Yeah. I definitely want to go back some more. All right. We promise this is a video game podcast. If you've not listened before, this is our weekly show where we talk about video games, and other topics pertaining to video games. We post at 6 a.m. Central Time Fridays on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and your favorite podcast app of choice. We're going to get started like we always do with what we've been playing. Montrell, what have you been playing, man?
Well, I just mentioned 2 things I've been playing, and then we'll segue into other things.
Sure.
I've been playing more Fire Emblem. Now, I've been putting hella hours into this game, even on my vacation.
Me too.
I had a whole day to myself on my vacation, where she went out and did her thing, and I did my thing.
Yeah.
And I'm still not done with this goddamn campaign.
It's extremely time consuming of a game. It's gotten to the point where it's really obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm on my second path. I'm doing Golden Deer now, following your lead. And yeah, I'm still in chapter 5. And I've been playing for probably 20 hours.
Really?
Something like that. Yeah, 15, 20 hours, I think. And dude, it's just I love the game. It just takes forever to do
certain things.
A lot of things, yeah. Like if you're trying to really, because your first playthrough is so slow because you don't know anything. So you're trying to learn these things on the fly, and you're really trying to absorb this information and talk to all these characters and do all this stuff. And I'm much more efficient now. I know how to utilize my time better in, during the month. But the problem is New Game Plus. So, let me talk about New Game Plus for a minute, actually. So, New Game Plus in this game is really, really cool. Mm-hmm. The problem is that it really trivializes the game. Like, I already thought the game was easy on hard, but New Game Plus, makes it even easier. You know?
Do the enemies scale with you? Or?
They do not.
Oh,
no, they're the same level they normally are. So, so... I'm in a situation now where I'm on chapter 5 and the enemies are level 10 and all my characters are level 14 and I have 20 characters. I've recruited most of the other 2 houses.
Yeah.
And everybody's level 14 pretty much.
Okay.
So I'm just obliterating everything at my level. I'm sure it's going to scale back as I get further in, as it's harder to level up. Early game, it's really easy to level, so it's easy to keep ahead of the enemies. But I am looking forward to, because they've said this is coming as a free update. They're going to be adding Lunatic at some point in the future.
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to that. I think that's really going to bring the game to a level with New Game Plus that is super fun, where it's still challenging, but you really feel like you're being able to build your party out better than you can in a regular playthrough.
Okay.
Because New Game Plus, for those of you who don't know, allows you to use Renown to buy certain things in the game. So you can buy professor levels that you achieved in your prior playthroughs. You can buy support levels that you achieved in prior playthroughs with every character. You can also buy skill levels with every character. And class abilities that you mastered in previous playthroughs as well.
Okay.
So it lets you kind of change things up on how you want to play. If you decide that you want a certain character, you want to go down a different path than you did with a certain character in the last playthrough, well, you can buy the skills they mastered on the classes you're not going to play this time.
Okay.
So it's still like they went through those classes before. So it's pretty cool. I like it. The professor level is you should buy that instantly, because you instantly get 10 activity points, and you're able to do so much more at the beginning of the game than you're normally able to.
Yeah.
So definitely recommend that. But I will say, so far it feels like it's kind of trivialized the game a little bit. But it's more fun because I have much more bandwidth to build my characters than I did before. So that's cool. So I'm still enjoying the game. But are you going to jump into a second playthrough when you finish? Or?
Yeah, I'm going to the Blue Lions because I'm really interested in that.
Next?
Yeah,
okay.
That faction's really the tidbits that you get with them, because they're so separated from. Even from what you're telling me, from the blue or the blood lions, they're so
Eagles.
Yeah, the Black Eagles. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Black Eagles. They're so separated from from the story. Mm-hmm. They really don't have any interaction. And same thing. I don't want to spoil it for you, but almost the same exact thing in Golden Deers. They're almost non-existent throughout the entire story, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But then when you finally encounter them, you can tell all the characters went through some shit. And you're I really want to know what they went through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. And I've just been playing a little bit of League here and there, but...
Of course, always.
What about you?
Yeah. More Fire Emblem for sure. It's definitely going to be a slow burn probably going forward with that game. Some more Grim Dawn. Got back into Grim Dawn with Jet last week. We actually got both of our characters to level 100. We were playing together, so we're at the end game phase of kind of grinding on equipment and stuff. Really enjoying the class I chose this time. Playing a Warlord, which is an Oathkeeper and a Soldier put together, and they are beastly as hell. Super tanky. They don't do a ton of damage until you're well geared, but when you do get there, they are monstrous. Monstrously powerful. So, having more fun with that. And of course, we are recording on Tuesday, 27th. WoW Classic launched last night, and it was predictably a disaster.
From the standpoint of...
queue times?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, okay, yeah. I guess that is important to clarify. The game works.
Yeah.
The game works fairly well. However, the servers don't.
Yeah, me and Justin were in queue for about 4 hours.
Yeah, I got in queue at 7:23 last night, and I did not get in the game until 11:30.
Yeah, I got in at 6:30. I made a mistake and exited out the queue, and then I went back in around 7. And yeah, I was in there for about 4 hours, and I didn't get on until about maybe 10:30, 11.
Yeah. And yeah, so there were 16,000 people in the queue when I jumped in. This was on the server we chose with our friends. And the way Blizzard has handled this, we haven't talked about this in recent weeks because we've kind of been in and out of doing shows, but let's get into it, I guess, that Blizzard has really dropped the ball on this launch.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Their decision to let people in early and subscribe early to reserve names was cute of them. What a great way for them to generate half a month of revenue off of subscriptions, because that's all it was.
Yeah.
Because there were literally like 9 servers or 8 servers available at the time when they allowed that, and they refused to take into account how many people were joining their servers and reserving names.
Yeah.
They refused to budge on adding more servers until literally Friday. This past Friday, like 4 days ago. They didn't add any servers till then. They added 4 that day. Those were instantly full, and they didn't want to add more until Sunday. They added 4 more, and then they added 4 more yesterday morning. And they still were not prepared for this. When this came yesterday, every server had a 10,000 person queue pretty much.
Yep.
So they added like 10 more servers yesterday in whatever panic they were in. They spun up 10 servers and just got them up real quick. And they're mostly all full already. Most of the servers... So this is kind of a status of where we are right now. I went through every PvP server today when I got home.
Yeah.
And just out of curiosity, tried to log into each one. Every server but 5 have 10,000 or more person queues. This was at 7 o'clock Central Time. And the servers that don't have 10,000 person queues, 3 of them have a 5,000 person queue, and then 2 of them have no queue.
Okay.
So the distribution of people is still not even yet. So some of those servers need to fill up. However, we're still at a point where we're looking at 5,000, 6,000 person queues, even if that distribution existed. That even distribution, maybe even more. Like, we could still have 10,000 person queues. So... to me, I just think I think their stubbornness to admit the demand that was going to come with this is ultimately probably going to hurt this game. And to me, like, I get where they're coming from. They've been really staunch in their position that they don't want to open too many servers and have a situation where they have to merge them later.
Yeah.
But... it was obvious that 9 wasn't the number. 9 servers wasn't the number. We're at 27 now.
They should have started with 30.
Yeah.
Like,
I think they should have started with 15 or 20 and gone from there.
Nah, it was just too many people talking about this game.
Yeah.
Outside of us and our small circle of friends, there were younger people talking about this game. There were, like, streamers talking about this game. There were, like, a lot of people. You got to remember, they also closed down the private servers that people had and everything of that nature. So it was a lot of people who didn't play this game for years.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me, like, oh, Classic's back? Like, yeah, you should expect this. And, I mean, they're stubborn because... They want people to play current WoW, but no one wants to play current WoW.
Yeah, I
don't know. It's just weird. Even when I went to download the classic WoW, current WoW was trying to install itself, and I'm like, hey, I don't want this trash.
I don't want this.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's gonna be real interesting to see what they say next month about WoW numbers and player numbers and stuff like that. I don't think they're gonna separate them. I don't think they're gonna separate them classic from retail. They're just gonna be like, oh, Warcraft is back and doing, or never left and was doing better than ever. But we all know what the deal is.
Yeah,
like, this is the first time I've seen people talk about WoW on my timeline at all. Like, people who are waiting in queue for it, or they're talking about it. And I mean, the game is back, and once you get in the game, it feels really good. It feels like
to a degree.
Yeah.
Like, it plays well, controls well, but the problem is that there's so many people in the fucking game.
Yeah.
You can't do anything.
The starter area is ridiculous.
But you know what? I'm not going to get into that because that is truly the classic experience.
Yes.
I don't mind that part of it.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that we can't actually play.
Yeah.
That they should have facilitated a situation where people could play.
I wonder what the server population is.
Yeah, I would be curious of what the actual max load of like concurrent player numbers are.
Yeah.
I would love to know that information. Is it 2,500, 3,000?
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, there's 20,000 people trying to get into a single server. Like,
Yeah.
or is it more than that? Is it like 5,000? Like, that seems insane though. Like, that's a lot of people.
I mean, Elder Scrolls did it. They had 10,000 people in the server.
So
yeah.
maybe it's higher than that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really up to date on what current server technology can handle in terms of concurrent player numbers for something like an MMO. So
I would think since the game doesn't really require a lot to run anymore, it can hold a pretty substantial amount of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you get in there, you do have to wait for, things to spawn, things of that nature. But one thing that I do notice, and one of our coworkers or friends brought this up, the lack of transportation makes the world feel really huge. And I like that. I feel like I'm really exploring the world again.
What a novel idea. You have to run around.
Yeah, like...
Oh, my God.
Like, a lot of games have fast travel now.
What has happened to video games?
Like, a lot of games have fast travel now everywhere. And I think a Classic WoW is an indication that gamers do want the nuance. They want the min-maxing shit. Like, we want this quote-unquote nerdy shit that Bungie... I always say Bungie... They say it in a good, positive way, but... I always quote them because they wanted Destiny to be like... They wanted Destiny to be the new WoW. Like, they wanted it to be... Titans to be tanks and Warlocks to be healers or DPS. They wanted all that, but... I guess the people they're with didn't want that at first. Activision didn't want that for that game. But you see a lot of games kind of reverting back to this old style of gaming where people want the little stuff because the little stuff actually matters. So,
well, yeah, for an MMO too, it's extremely important. I think MMOs lost sight of this over the years, and World of Warcraft is the one really to blame for this.
Yep.
But they lost sight of the immersion factor of the game. An MMO is supposed to be something... It's supposed to be a world that is alive.
Yeah.
That has people running around, things happening in it, an economy. It's supposed to be alive in that way. And I think MMOs lost sight of that. And World of Warcraft became a game that wasn't about the world. It was about the activities that they gave you to do.
Yeah.
There was no world really. Like, there was a world to run around in, but you didn't really run around in it. You know, you just did dungeon queues and got instantly teleported to your dungeon. You didn't have to group with people. You don't have to talk to people anymore. You don't have to interact with people. The game was so easy that you don't actually have to group with anyone to do anything, and that it just takes the social aspect out of the MMO, and you just cannot take that out of the MMO and make it fun, in my opinion. That is a core element to the genre of MMOs, is social interaction between your players. That's where the fun comes from, is them creating their own gameplay through interacting with one another, Yeah,
and I think it was pretty cool too how EverQuest did that. And I never played EverQuest, but I'm hearing Jet talk about it all the time, one of our friends. And the simple fact that they made people made an economy or a job out of transportation. Like, I think the wizard class or something like that. One of the classes
they can do portals,
Yeah, and you had to pay people for that.
Well, it's like that too, though. Mages can do portals.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that kind of diminished in quality as like...
Oh, yeah, eventually that's useless because you can just portal wherever you wanted.
Yeah. But like that made that class useful in that aspect where you had to do that. And you had to ask for people to either pay or you had to have someone in your group do it or something of that nature. So I think that's pretty cool. Another thing is, like you said, the social aspect. I see that happening in a lot of games now. A lot of people are asking for forced in-game chat. Like, I don't want to be in a party. Like, if you're in a party, you have to talk to me while I'm not in the party, if that makes any sense. Like, if I'm playing Call of Duty and I'm playing Search and Destroy, which is a very team-heavy game, I don't want you to be in party chat. I need you to be in game chat talking to me and telling me where people are at, because we don't have a radar. I don't know where no one's at, and this is a it's a 1 kill per round type deal. And a lot of people are asking for forced game chat in games again, and I think we're at the point where I don't want to speak too highly of us, but I think gamers are at the point where we can be mature about certain situations now, whereas back then we were young and the internet was young and everything of that nature. It was relatively young to online gaming, things of that nature. But I feel like a lot of people now who have grown up in that culture either teach their kids not to be like that, or people just know just from general socialing that, you know.
Dude, when you're going to make a multiplayer game, or you're going to play a multiplayer game rather as a player, choosing to play a multiplayer game and not communicate, unfortunately, like, the games, you have to communicate. If it's a team-based game, if you're gonna win and be like maximum efficiency, you have to communicate with your teammates. You can't like play League in Dota and never talk to anyone. And honestly, like, that's the point I got to with Dota, where I didn't want to talk to anybody because they were so toxic and rude and whatnot. But that creates an issue where the team isn't cohesive, and then they're not working together. So you're just kind of feeling each other out and doing things and hoping that people get what you're trying to do without saying it. And then it's just, if they don't get it, then you lose a fight or something like that. And it's one of those things. I think if you're gonna play multiplayer, like, it just, communication comes with the territory with that, you know.
And it's very funny that you say that, because I was playing League this other day, and I found like a group of 5 people that we play League all the time with now, and League is like super fun. I've been playing solo since I started playing League 3 years ago, so I never had a person to play League with or anything like that. And I used to always see like little YouTube videos about people saying like, man, I remember League was so fun, me and my friends. And I never experienced that. But now I'm experiencing that because they have this little mode called Clash where you can do tournaments. And if you win a tournament, you win skins and things of that nature. And we won a tournament. It was me and 5 people, and we won, or me and 4 other people, and we won a tournament. And we were winning against like platinum and some diamond people. And it was like really cool. And we were all like gold, maybe a silver here and there.
Isn't that thrilling, right?
Yeah,
like,
because we're talking to each other, and I had someone to talk to as a jungler. Like, they respected my plays, and I respected what they're doing. We talked to each other before games. We're like, okay, what's your strengths, what's your weaknesses? Like, we communicated with each other. Whereas in solo queue, unfortunately, you don't get that opportunity to do that. You can only say so much in chat, you know. So I don't know. I just think communication in games is very important to the game. It can possibly make the community less toxic, in my opinion, the way you implement it.
And that social aspect, the community aspect, is the biggest thing that made WoW as big as it is. People creating friendships or creating friendships that just lasted, and that were just, they enjoyed it so much. They wanted to play the game because of the people they played with, not because of the game.
Exactly.
Necessarily. You know, and I think the fact that Blizzard lost sight of that is like hilarious to me, because they clearly weren't playing their own game or paying attention to their own game, because they took that stuff, they made it harder for that stuff to happen naturally. You know, when you're running around the world doing quests and there's people around you, and those quests are hard, like you're in a cave and you're by yourself and you're trying to fight these mobs and you keep pulling 3 enemies at the same time and you can't kill them, and then you die and everything respawns and you have to start over, and it's like, that's really frustrating. But then somebody comes along and they see you struggling and they like invite you to a group, you know, and it's like you take care of the cave together, you know, and all of a sudden, bang, like maybe you have a friend there, you know. You can maybe do dungeons with that person later or something like that. Like, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. World of Warcraft was difficult enough where those interactions would happen, you know. You're gonna see that when you're playing. Like, if you're playing by yourself, dude, you're gonna do certain quests and you're gonna be like, this quest is stupidly difficult, you know. It's like, but then there's gonna be another person nearby and you're gonna see them doing the same thing, and then you guys are just gonna group up because it's, you know,
it's easier to do.
You know. And you'll chat a little bit, and that'll be that, you know. You don't necessarily have to make like permanent friends with them, but those interactions don't happen when everything is like easily killable. Like nothing is a threat to your player character that's out in the world. You know?
Yeah.
And that's what World of Warcraft lost, dude. They took the elites out of the world, like elite mobs out of the world. Those ones that have that like dragon icon around their nameplate or whatever. They took those mobs out of the world at the end of Burning Crusade. And when they did that, dude, that was one of the most disappointing moments for me because I knew that was going to change the game in a bad way.
Okay.
You know, where I don't have to expend effort to do certain quests anymore, you know?
Yeah, I will say it is harder. It is difficult from this is my first time playing vanilla. I came in on Burning Crusade. But it is more difficult to do stuff. Like I have to actually be strategic in where I pull and where I run, things of that nature. Because I may pull a level 8 enemy and I'm only like level 5. And that may not seem like a big difference to you guys, but that makes a huge difference.
Dude, in vanilla, that's a massive difference. Their ability to hit you and crit you is way higher because they're higher level than you. Yeah. Yeah, and
it's actually makes me feel threatened in the world, but I appreciate it because I'm like, man, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna beat your ass. Like, you know, so it's cool.
Yeah, so I don't know. The fact that we can't play, like we're struggling to even play the game, is just such a letdown to me, and it's really bumming me out because I really want to play.
Do you think Blizzard's trying to sabotage the game?
Dude, that's been my impression this whole time. I legitimately don't believe Blizzard wants us to succeed. The way they've acted about it, the way they've talked about it, the way they've been stubborn about opening new servers, the way they've been so blasé about it, like, oh, people aren't going to be playing in a month. Like, the servers are just going to, you know, server populations are going to naturally go down. It's like, dude, there's plenty of us that want to play this.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
You're still going to have at least 6 million players playing this shit.
Like, God, dude, like, yeah, like, I don't know how many people are trying to play right now. You know, I would wager it's probably in the million range.
Yeah.
Probably. That's like probably my safe guess. But that is a lot of people. Most MMOs would kill to have that many players playing their game, you know? And that's just on Classic. That doesn't even include Live. And I think Blizzard's like didn't think this through properly, where they didn't really think about what their potential player base was. Because, dude, if you really think about it, their potential player base isn't just old WoW players. And even if it was just old WoW players, that's probably 50 to 100 million people.
Yeah.
Because of over the lifespan of World of Warcraft, how many people have played World of Warcraft at some point? It's a huge number of people. And then you don't even take that. You take the people who heard about World of Warcraft but never played it. Because by the time they heard about it and wanted to play it, the game was trash. And everybody was telling them not to bother, right?
Yeah.
That's another group of people. Then there's the group of people, young kids, who were like 5 years old when World of Warcraft came out and never got to play it because they were too young. That's another group of people that could potentially play this game. This could be bigger than World of Warcraft was, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if they played their cards right, but they're not playing their cards right, and it's really disappointing me because they could really make something here that is like they could branch WoW off, like branch this off from retail WoW and like maybe even make new content for it if it was popular enough, you know, if it made sense to do that. But they just seem disinterested in really putting the effort in. Like,
I mean, I think I want to say, I'm trying to be positive, all right? So I'm trying to look on the positive side because they are doing the Warcraft 3 Reforged, and I think maybe they are going to do like a Thanos snap situation or maybe a timeline situation.
Well, they have to. World of Warcraft's a mess.
Yeah.
Lore-wise, current WoW.
Yeah.
It's a total mess.
And like you said, a lot of players, the new players, they probably never understood why the game was so popular. Even if they are playing retail, they probably never understood why this game was so popular. They probably think like, oh, it's just kind of like Final Fantasy, but you know, a little bit more this and that. Well, now they can go back because the game is actually a totally different game from like retail, like layout wise. Like, it's not just going classic. It's like if someone had Mario 1 and I don't know, or the first Mario game, and then they went to Super Mario World, and then they're like, "No, we're going back to Super Mario." Like, it's a totally different game now.
No, retail WoW, you can't really do the old content that was in the original game. Like, it's not really even there anymore. Like,
even the landscape changed.
Yeah, in Cataclysm, they redesigned the entire leveling experience in the game, and the world is completely different from vanilla. Like, The zones are completely redesigned and all that. So, yeah, you can't get this experience in current WoW in any real way at all. That's why this has appeal, is because they changed the game so much. And yeah, so I don't know. I mean, we're gonna talk about this probably for the next few weeks.
Yeah, so get ready.
Yeah, get ready. But we will monitor this, and honestly, I'm hoping the queues go down. I'm really hoping they do. But
I'm just hoping that I'm hoping you're wrong, and I hope Blizzard is really taking it seriously. They just like kind of taking it slow, but taking it seriously. I hope it's like, I just really hope, because like you said, they have a real gold mine on them, and they can please a lot of people. Give faith back in Blizzard, because I mean a lot of people have lost faith in Blizzard within the last couple of years,
including me and you.
Yeah.
And dude, like when I say I hope the queues go down, at the same time I kind of hope they don't.
Yeah.
Because I don't want Blizzard to basically force people to quit because they don't have enough server capacity for all the people that want to play.
It's like a love-hate thing you got.
Yeah, well, dude, they're going to create a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you don't have enough server capacity for people to play, they're going to leave because they can't play the game. Yeah. No one's going to sit in a queue 3 hours every weeknight when they come home from work. Even me. I'm already at the point where I'm like, I don't even want to deal with this. Like, I just want to play.
But then they're going to use it to justify. See, people didn't want. Oh wow,
it's a total self-fulfilling prophecy, and that's why when you mentioned earlier, like, are they trying to self-sabotage? I mean, kinda. They kinda are, and it's frustrating to watch because, like, if they really wanted to do this properly, like, dude, they could have something really cool on their hands where they could do expansion legacy servers, they could do new content for vanilla that was never like made. Like, dude, there are areas in vanilla World of Warcraft that are empty. They clearly had a plan for it. They never got around to it. They didn't have time to put stuff there. There's tons of places like that all over World of Warcraft's map. If you go like look at this up, there's tons of them. Like they're everywhere, and it sucks that like they never got to do it, and it sucks that they might actually have an opportunity to do something cool with these areas, but they're gonna not do it because the game they're gonna inhibit this game from being successful because of the way they're approaching it.
I think they're trying to prove too hard that their retail version is superior version, instead of just trying, like, they need to let that pride go. Like,
they do.
It's ridiculous at this point. I think a lot of game companies have this pride that they hold on. They're trying to prove their customers wrong. I think we're like the only industry that kind of does that. Honestly, like
it's petty. Dude, people want to give you money. They want to give you money to do something. Like, why are you fighting them? I can't fathom it, dude. I cannot fathom it.
Fans are literally telling you, like, hey, maybe you guys should do this. No, we don't want to do that. You guys know it's good for yourselves. And like, we're grown ass people. Some of us, majority of us are. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just weird. The game industry's weird in a weird spot now.
They are. All right. Let's move on. We're a little bitter about this, so let's get off WoW Classic. All right, let's get into the news. So, first story, we've got 2 weeks of news, so we got a lot to talk about. So, first story here is an interesting one. This is kind of just a PSA. So the Switch Lite revision is out in the wild. It's been out in the wild for a couple weeks in the U.S. And there have been some reports that Nintendo is offering to replace a Switch purchase after July 17th. So after they announced the revision, basically the original Switch model, the one without the increased battery life, they're offering to replace it if you ship yours in, pay for shipping and pay for shipping back. If you're willing to do that, they will replace your Switch with the new model that has the upgraded battery life. Now, I did see stories. I think Nintendo did officially put out a press release saying they're not doing this, they're not offering this, but I kind of think they just did that so that they don't have a million people asking them to replace Switches. I think they're doing it if people go to them and ask. So it's worth a shot. If you bought a Switch after the 17th of July, and it's not the revision model, I mean, it can't hurt. Go ask Nintendo and see if they're willing to do it. If not, I mean,
you still got your Switch.
You still got your Switch. You know,
Yeah.
You can go trade it in a GameStop and get a new one for $75. You know, so PSA there. All right, moving on. This next one is, this one was interesting to watch. So Apex Legends did their community dirty a little bit. So they released some microtransactions a week or two ago, and they added loot boxes to Apex Legends. And these loot boxes were not only just loot boxes, they were extremely expensive loot boxes that, honestly, things cost like upwards of $100.
What?
To obtain. Yeah, it was pretty wild. So this obviously created a controversy. They got embroiled in controversy with their community, and some Respawn developers kind of snapped a little bit. They went on the Reddit. The Reddit was like freaking out. They were burning down in flames. They were flaming the developers, saying all sorts of nasty shit like usual. But the developers decided to wade into the muck and join in the nastiness going back and forth. And there were a few quotes of these are things that were said by Respawn developers. They called some players asshats. They called them freeloaders, and then they called them dicks. Calling them freeloaders, fair enough. I don't think that's anything terrible, but calling your fans asshats, dicks, don't know about that one. And then, of course, once this happened, the community, obviously responded in kind. But this led to them writing an open letter to Respawn.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which said, I'm gonna read it. I quote, you committed the ultimate cardinal sin. You got personal. You, as a team of professionals trying to make money, got personal. You got personal and decided to insult your player base, calling us asshats and freeloaders. Not a wise move. We won't forget this. You set a new tone for the kind of interaction we'll be having with you. It's a cold one where there aren't any illusions about the reality of the situation. Previous notions of family are dead. We are mere consumers to you, and that is obvious. You have chosen to bring in a new era of hostility and bitterness. Well done. Great PR move. So this is a little dramatic for my taste, but there is one piece in there that I think is actually pretty valuable, that you've set a new tone for the kind of interaction we'll be having with you. And I think this is where I think the developers unfortunately kind of lost their cool a little bit too hard.
Yeah.
Is that, yes, gaming communities are toxic. They can be extremely mean. Reddit in particular can get really nasty sometimes. But you can't let yourself get down to that level.
Yeah.
You can never let that happen, because I understand that it's like you're taking abuse, and you feel like you need to like punch back,
Yeah.
But you got to remember, you're offering a service to these people. These people are your customers. The game, and you implemented something in loot boxes that is an extremely toxic thing within the gaming community. I mean, you got to give a little bit of leeway there.
Yeah, are they trying to kill themselves? Like, why would you put loot boxes in the game after this whole loot box controversy?
Mm-hmm. Well, after this happened, Vince Zampella, the head of Respawn, tweeted out, let me get the full tweet here. I quote, "On Friday, we gave Apex fans an update on how we were changing the Iron Crown event. Some of the team then joined a discussion with our community on Reddit, and things got to a pretty bad place. Some of our folks crossed the line with their comments, and that's not how we want Respawn to be represented. I apologize to any of our fans that were offended. I will always stand behind the team here at Respawn and support them on speaking out against some of the toxic and nasty comments being directed at them, including everything from death threats to comments aimed at their family and loved ones. We shouldn't contribute to it when we do comment and add to the very thing we want to prevent. We need to lead by example. Last week, we didn't do that, and going forward, we will be better. Having an open, healthy relationship with our community is incredibly important to all of us at Respawn. End quote. So I thought that was a good response by Vince, but it's kind of a too little too late kind of thing. I mean, the cat's out of the bag, dude. Like, once your developers start saying things like that, like, they kind of let their true feelings out. Even if it's in frustration, the community's going to hold on to that, you know? Anytime you interact with them going forward, dude, like, they need to be on pins and needles now, you know?
Yeah.
So this was a pretty nasty situation. It was sad to see, too, because this game's had a lot of issues in terms of not having content updates often enough, and then adding loot boxes, and then this whole flame war that happened. Like, it's just sad to see, you know? This is a game I kind of like. I wish it the best. I want it to succeed, but it just seems like they don't want it to. I
actually don't have any problems with this battle royale. I think it took. I think it was a cool idea to introduce heroes in the battle royale type genre and do it. And I actually like the lead developer or the CEO of Respawn. I actually like him, Vincent Pella. He was the person who made the original Call of Duty and stuff like that. Yeah, and it seems like EA just wants this game to fail. I don't know who implemented this idea. I think they should have did like a battle pass type.
They already have a battle pass.
Oh, okay.
So they added this on top of it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't understand what's going on there.
The battle pass must not have been doing well enough because they were like, man, we got to figure out a new revenue stream or something, dude. Because I don't know. Loot boxes, like, we're over it, guys. Like, let's just end the loot boxes. All right, take them out. Okay. All right, let's move on. All right. We haven't talked about Anthem in a long time, but we're not really going to talk about Anthem.
We're not.
We're going to talk about BioWare. So a couple weeks ago, a couple of their producers, their high-level producers at the studio, left the company. Fernando Mello, who was a senior producer on the Dragon Age 4, he worked at the Edmonton studio. And then Ben Irving, the lead producer on Anthem, who works in Austin, Texas, also left the studio. This was a day apart, these two departures.
Oh, I heard they were leaving and joining and making another studio. I heard of some people I heard a lot of the BioWare people were making another studio. That's what I heard. So.
I hadn't actually heard about that. I just heard that these guys left, and I thought one of them actually said he was going to take some time off. And
oh yeah, I mean they probably needed shit.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Well, it's just. Dude, it's just this keeps happening. It's like one after the other with the studio. Like, tons of long tenured employees are leaving. You know?
I don't think what I think is going on now. I think EA is down BioWare's throats, and what I think is happening is I think there's, especially with the leadership, I think there's some fighting going on because I don't think people want Dragon Age 4 to be a live service game. And I think from what I hear and the articles I read, EA really wants Dragon Age 4 to be a live service game.
It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. Though. It doesn't make sense at all.
It makes no sense. And like Mass Effect would make more sense than that.
Yeah, I can see Mass Effect being a live service game. But yeah, they want Dragon Age to be a live service game, and from all the rumors that I hear, it is a live service game. But everyone else wants it to be single player. Like we want the Inquisition experience again, and I just don't think we're gonna get it. I think Dragon Age 4 is either gonna be the BioWare magic again, or
it's not. If it's a live service game, they're dead.
Yeah, I don't think it should be that. I think EA should get their heads up their asses. Like,
well, dude, the problem is though, I understand EA being up their asses. If they're up their asses, like I get it though from their perspective. With what happened with Anthem, like they kind of need to be on top of these guys. Like it is what it is with that. You know?
Because Anthem was
like
atrocious. 7 years,
such a horrifying development cycle. Like, so I kind of get it from EA's perspective, but at the same time, it's creating a situation where I think it's just gonna hurt the game, and it's gonna end up hurting us, the players. You know, like. I don't know. It sucks. I don't know. It sucks to see this, man. I don't like to see them just hemorrhaging talent like this, you know. But it is what it is. I mean, they're just in a bad place right now. You know, they need Dragon Age 4 to succeed too. They really need it to succeed. And EA pushing a live service model in that game is just not a good. It's not going to be good.
I think they should just leave it alone. I think EA should push a timeline on them, but a live
100%.
Service timeline, I don't think that's the way to go.
Dude, they clearly showed they weren't capable of doing a live service game with Anthem.
Exactly.
Like, I know they've done the Old Republic, but even that game had tons of issues.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's just not what the studio's good at. You know?
Yeah, they need to focus their money. Like, maybe EA needs to reallocate some money, make the studio a little bit smaller, but make them make single player games. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree.
I don't know, because only reason that we're getting Fallen Order, in my opinion, from Jedi, from Respawn, is because they had the success with Apex. In my opinion.
Yeah. No, and I think EA is investing in their successful studios.
Yeah.
I don't think BioWare's one of those right now.
Exactly.
You know, so. Okay, let's move on. July NPDs came out, and man, they were interesting. Nintendo had a very strong month with 6 games in the top 10. So here's the full list. This is for July. This is physical sales in the U.S. Some of these games have digital sales, some don't. So Madden NFL 20 was number 1 on the list. The game was out for what, like 2 days in July?
Are you guys?
What the hell?
Are you guys fucking kidding me
What
right now?
the hell? We'll talk about this more in a second. Fire Emblem 3 Houses?
Hey!
Hell yeah.
That's what I like to see.
Super Mario Maker 2 being number 3.
Wow.
That's really impressive because it came out in June. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Minecraft. Grand Theft Auto 5. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Mortal Kombat 11, Mario Kart 8, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, that's number 10. 11 is Marvel's Spider-Man. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege is 12. 13 is Call of Duty Black Ops 4. 14 is Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. 15, Red Dead Redemption 2. 16 is Tom Clancy's The Division 2. 17 is MLB 19 The Show. 18, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. 19 is NBA 2K19, which is hilarious because, I mean, 2K20 is...
They put it on sale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pushing numbers.
Yeah.
And then 20 is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So, interesting list. Nintendo showing strong, man.
Yeah, I'm really glad to see Fire Emblem
3 Houses at number 2. That's really impressive.
Yeah, I'm really glad.
And actually, let me look. Yeah, that's without digital sales included.
Woo! That's nice.
So, they're doing pretty well there. And yeah, Madden 20. I mean, stop it, guys.
We don't. Okay.
Stop it.
We don't hate sports games. We are both sports enthusiasts. I love basketball.
We hate bad sports games.
Yeah, I love basketball, and Justin loves football.
Yeah.
So we love sports. We're not like the typical, you sports. I just like video games. Like, we like both things.
Mm-hmm.
But these games are egregious, man. Like, they are very egregious in what they do and how they get their money.
Monetize.
Yeah. And, I mean, that's all I really wanted to say. Like, it's crazy.
Just stop buying Madden, please. Please, spare me. Spare me.
People are saying this Madden's good.
No.
But then I saw Angry Joe's review.
Yeah, have you seen the video he did?
Yeah, I did.
Dude.
Their franchise mode is...
I want to get as mad as he does about it. Dude, the fact that he's literally... Go, everybody. If you don't believe what we're saying about Madden, go watch Angry Joe's video because there's no bias here. This is empirical facts, okay? This is facts. He's literally showing his video from last year, showing the Madden franchise mode, and then showing it this year.
It was, oh my God.
And it's literally the same with a different background.
Isn't that the most requested mode everyone likes though? Franchise mode?
No, that's not the one that makes them money though. So they don't put any effort into it because it doesn't make them money. They just put it in there so they don't have people bitching at them that there's no franchise mode. If they had their way, Madden Ultimate Team would be the game. That would be it. And then online mode, that would be it. There would be no franchise mode.
It can't be that fun.
What?
The Ultimate Team thing. It just can't be that fun.
It's not fun at all. I don't get it. Subjectivity aside,
yeah,
I don't get it.
Is it like Yu-Gi-Oh cards but
yes.
with sports?
Yes.
Maybe
it's fulfilling that itch. Yeah, dude. It's like fulfilling that itch that you get like the good player and you can put him on your team.
Yeah.
And like you can use like the gold rated 99 Odell Beckham. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's awful. It's horrifying. Stop buying Madden, please. I'm gonna have a meltdown. I just need a good football game, guys. It's been 15 fucking years. You know? 15 years since I had a good football game that I actually enjoyed.
I've never seen him like this.
Montrell, I am sincerely just crestfallen about this. Like, I can't stand it that the game was out for 2 goddamn days and it's number 1 on the list. Like, what are we doing with ourselves, guys? Let's be more discerning. I know nobody listening to this podcast buys Madden. Maybe they do. I don't know, actually. Maybe they do.
A couple of my friends listen to our podcast.
Fair
and they
enough.
buy Madden. But they're not going to stop buying Madden.
Stop buying Madden, guys.
They're not.
They have the exclusive rights. Like, if you stop buying Madden, guess what? They lose the exclusive rights. Then the NFL pursues letting other companies make NFL games, maybe 2K. I don't even know if I want them touching it at this point, though,
at this
with
point,
what they've become.
Yeah.
But at least we'll get an exploration of what a football game can be. Madden is not it. It's not it.
I will give 2K credit. They try every year something different. They try to revamp their engine. And
this
everything.
year it's Madden Ultimate Team.
Yeah,
2K.
but I think that's, to me, a lot of people are like really like, oh, this is going to be cool. I think this is the beginning of the end. This is the 2K that signifies the rest of 2K dying. Like,
yeah, man.
2K has been really good. It's just the My Player mode now sucks. And they know, like, that's the money grabber. Everyone loves My Player mode. You create your own player. You go through the story. It's like really cool story mode and everything like that. But to build your character and to make these builds, hey, you got to buy these VC points. You want to get this? You got to buy these VC points. It's like, bro, I used to just be able to play the game, make my character really good. And I get points based off my performance in the game. That's how many points I get, and I can use those points to upgrade my character. Now it's just like you can just buy a character now.
You know what I can't do in Madden that I would love to be able to do is play My Player mode multiplayer, where like you play with a friend and like one of you is the quarterback and one of you is the receiver.
You can do that on NBA 2K.
You can't do that in Madden.
They got like My Park mode.
Yeah, you can't do that in Madden.
That's crazy.
Why? I don't know.
I heard
they had it in the game. Like, they had it in the game like 5 years ago, and it's not in the games anymore. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I heard people used to say that you can play like 4 players or something.
You can. You could. You could.
You used to. Yeah.
You can't. You can't do it anymore. Why? I don't fucking know. They just took it out. I mean, like, what? Like,
oh, okay.
Madden should be getting better every single year. It should be adding features. It should be adding things to it. It should be adding new things to it. It shouldn't be the same fucking game.
You know what's funny though? I'm sorry. This is the funniest part about it. The Pro Bowl, right? When they took
They
took the Pro Bowl out, I think last year because they said the consoles couldn't handle the helmets being different from the jerseys.
This is the worst fucking thing I've ever seen. So yeah, a developer was asked, why isn't the Pro Bowl in Madden? And his response was, well, these consoles can't handle rendering 32 different jerseys and helmets with different logos on them. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? If that is true, you need to fire your entire development team because it's a fucking texture.
That's like 100
on
megabytes.
A 3D model.
That's maybe 100 megabytes.
Yeah, right. It's not. There's no fucking way. If it's 100 megabytes, fire your development team. What the fuck? Compress your game.
Maybe.
Jesus Christ.
When I heard that, when I saw that on Angry Joe's video, I was like,
I lost my shit.
Are you fucking kidding
Also,
me?
them adding the Pro Bowl back and being like, we added the Pro Bowl back. Nobody cares about the Pro Bowl. Dude, let me play My Player with my friends. Let me do cool things in franchise mode, like multi-year contracts or actually like adjust contracts in a cool way. Let me fucking do interesting trades. Make the AI not make dumb trades.
Hey man, the last good football game I played was NCAA. Which one was it? 2012, 2013 maybe? No, I wasn't that late. It was probably 2010. That was the last good football game, and I love.
Well, that was the last NCAA game they made. It was like 2012, I think.
Yeah, I absolutely loved NCAA. That football game was. Whoever was the team on that game, they were doing their shit.
Well, dude, but that was before Ultimate Team, so they didn't. Like, imagine. Oh, my God. Oh, man. I almost wish they had done it so they could have been sued. You know?
Yeah.
I almost wish that. I kind of do wish it. Yeah, last good football game I played, NFL 2K5. All right, I'm done talking about this. Best-selling games in 2019 so far. Mortal Kombat 11 is still at number 1. Kingdom Hearts 3 is still at number 2. Tom Clancy's Division 2 is at number 3. Anthem is still at 4. Resident Evil 2 2019 is number 5. Smash Bros. Ultimate is 6. Red Dead Redemption 2 is 7. Madden NFL 20 is broken onto this list and is number 8. Days Gone is 9. MLB The Show 19 is 10. Days Gone being 9, that's actually pretty impressive.
Maybe I should give that game a chance.
What, just based off sales? Come on, man. Game looks boring.
It does look boring as hell.
Yeah, whatever. All right, let's
I'll wait for it. I'll wait for a flash sale.
Yeah, let's move on. All right, this was the big story. Last week, Sony announced at right while Gamescom was going on, actually, that timing was not incidental, I don't think. I think they were doing it on purpose. They announced that they have purchased Insomniac Games, the studio that made Spider-Man PS4 that came out last year. They've also made many of the Ratchet & Clank games. Yep. They made the Resistance series. They made Fuse. They've made a ton of games. They've made it. Yeah, this company's been around forever. They made Spyro the Dragon back in the day. Like, dude, these guys have been around a long time in the industry. So this is a huge deal. I was revealed in the story actually too that Spider-Man has sold 13.2 million copies since it came out last year, which is insane
for a single player game.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, that's
a lot of copies. Like. That's nuts for a exclusive game to sell that much.
And a superhero game.
Like, dude, that's insane numbers. So, congrats to them, dude. Like, I mean, they deserve it. That game was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, no joke. But, dude, them acquiring Insomniac, this has been something that's been kind of talked about for like years. Over a decade.
Yeah,
I feel like
everyone thought they already had them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think a lot of people mistakenly believed that Sony owned Insomniac, but Insomniac has been an independent studio for 25 years. Like wow. since they were founded, and they've been offered to be bought several times, and they've turned it down many a time. Ted Price was very adamant that he wanted to stay independent for a long time. I don't know what changed here. I think it's probably, I'm gonna guess it's probably that he working with Sony, they already understand what it's like to work with Sony, and the first parties with Sony really get the ability to make what they want.
Yeah,
you know?
I want to say in 2015, 2014, their dip in the water with Xbox was Sunset Overdrive.
Yep.
And that really wasn't. It really didn't go too well, even though the game was fun.
Yes.
Xbox was still dealing with their debacle as well from that whole, TV sports DMR thing. So,
but yeah, no, Sony. I'm gonna bet. I mean, I think that was one of those things. That was a period of time where Insomniac and Sony's relationship had actually frayed a little bit.
Yeah.
That was after Resistance 3, and they were not making a game for PlayStation 4.
Yep.
And they made that exclusive game for Xbox One in Sunset Overdrive, and people loved it, actually. It was
a lot of people.
Very well received. Yeah. It looked really cool. I would actually love to play it, but I'm actually interested in to wonder if Microsoft owns the rights to that game.
No,
or
that's one thing that they...
Which they don't, right?
They're adamant about.
I wonder if we'll see that game on PS4 soon.
Maybe.
That would be kind of cool.
But they are very adamant about not owning the rights to that. Only thing... Yeah, it was weird.
So, their relationship had frayed, but it seems like they repaired it shortly after that, because they made a Ratchet & Clank game in 2016 or 2017?
2016. I
think it was 2016.
Yeah, the movie came out around the time, too, yeah.
And it was $40. It was a remake of the original game, actually.
Yeah.
And people loved it. It was extremely well received. So I think, and then they made the Spider-Man, and dude, I mean, that's the most successful exclusive game for Sony to ever come out. So it's, I mean, they've always had a good relationship, a close relationship. This seemed probably inevitable if you
Yeah,
know. If
I mean, it makes sense. I mean,
it does. It makes a lot of sense.
you know, Microsoft made their move by buying all those studios, and I think Sony within the next coming years are going to make a lot of more. I think this is just the beginning. Honestly.
Well, yeah, I've been hearing a lot about Remedy.
Yeah.
Which Control just came out from them.
Yeah, and they worked with Microsoft last time. They made a Quantum Break. So
Yes, they did.
or Quantum whatever it's called.
Well. I mean, dude, Insomniac though now being part of Sony Studios, I mean, they shoot up to like top 2 or 3 studios than Sony stable. You know, like this is a high quality studio, dude. This is up there with Santa Monica and Naughty Dog, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what they're gonna make for them.
Me too, because I mean, clearly we're definitely getting a Spider-Man 2. I know that the movie deal falling apart, notwithstanding, I don't think that has any effect on those games. That has nothing effect on those games. But I think there is another game probably in the pipe or will be in the pipe from Insomniac, whether it's Resistance or something completely new or maybe another Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, or maybe, who knows? Yeah. I mean, Insomniac is really good about making new IPs. They're not shy of like even in going back, obviously. They're not shy about going back. So maybe we get another Fuse game.
But yeah, to me, this is one of the best studios, like, period.
Yeah, they're definitely in one of those top 10 studios on the planet,
which is why they were able to stay independent for so long. You know, because they were just such a reliable company to partner with for a publisher, you know, with an IP. Like, so the fact that Sony has them now, dude, honestly, I think their games are going to get even better now, because they're not going to have a timeline really holding them down, you know.
Yeah, that is one thing I think Sony does way better than Microsoft. They allow their studios. They give them, to me, it gives them a certain freedom. It looks like Microsoft. I mean, that may change for Microsoft now. They may be like, "Hey, you guys make whatever you want to make now." But in the past, it seemed like Microsoft was like, "Hey, we need you to make these type of games, or it has to be on this type of pipeline or level." Whereas Sony's like, "Hey, man, if it works, it works. Let's go with it."
Yeah, well, what Sony does is they allow their studios to pitch games to them.
Yeah,
and then they'll kind of figure it out with the studio which one they actually want to greenlight.
Yeah.
But most of the time, if a studio feels strongly about a certain one, Sony will let them do that. Yeah. You know,
and that's what I really respect about them.
Yeah, and they give them the time necessary to make the game great.
Yep.
Generally, I mean, Dreams is an obvious example, dude. Like, I mean, I don't know if that game's ever going to be great, but Sony has given Media Molecule 7 or 8 years to make that game. You know,
and I definitely respect that.
So, you know, sometimes they push it a little too far, but dude, for the most part, like, I mean, most of their studios, we're getting really good stuff from them. So I'm actually pretty excited about this. I think this is good for Insomniac.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to game announcements. So we had quite a few in the past couple weeks. Ghost Games revealed a new Need for Speed game called Need for Speed Heat. It's going to be coming out on November 8th. And this one is going to be taking place in a fake Miami called Palm City, I believe. And the game is going to be, so it's interesting. What they said was you're going to be racing during the day, and these are going to be like sanctioned official legal races that you're going to be doing, and then at night you're going to be doing street races, and the cops are going to come out.
Okay, that's cool,
and stuff like that. So
where are the loot boxes going to come in?
So the last Need for Speed had these like cards that you'd buy, card packs or whatever.
Those are so terrible.
Yeah, right. And dude, I was so annoyed about it. So those are gone.
Okay.
This is going to be a legitimate. Doesn't seem like there's microtransactions, at least initially. Nothing that's going to ruin the gameplay for this game potentially. So I mean, I'm not going to buy it right away. I'm going to wait and see what it looks like. But I mean, I love Need for Speed. It's just, dude, they haven't been able to do anything good with it in so long.
Yeah.
You know, it's really unfortunate. Like, to me, I just want Underground. You know, like maybe like an open world Underground, like Most Wanted. You remember the first Most Wanted?
Yeah.
That was kind of open world.
Yeah.
That game. That's the game I want.
Maybe it'll be like that.
You know, where you can customize your cars, you can put decals on them and paint jobs, dude, I need that all back in the game.
They gotta monetize all that, man.
Whatever. Need for Speed Heat, everybody, November 8th. All right, next one. These were from Gamescom, a couple of them. Ori and the Blind Forest is coming to Switch on September 27th. So this is Microsoft kind of working with Nintendo some more.
Yep.
This is interesting. This is a great get because this is a great Switch game, in my opinion. I might actually play this on Switch, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if there was nothing about the sequel that is in development right now, if that's going to eventually come to Switch. But Microsoft did say after this that they're kind of going to slow down with the putting their first party games on other platforms.
Okay,
thing.
that makes sense.
It does make sense for them. And then The Witcher 3 got a release date of October 15th on Switch.
I'm really interested to see how this game looks. Did we see any screenshots of it?
Yeah, they show gameplay, and it's going to be running at 540p in handheld mode, 720p docked.
Wow, okay.
Which isn't that bad. I know it's not 1080, but it's more than I thought the Switch would be able to handle.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I know. But I'm going to be really curious to see it in handheld mode. Like, how grainy does this game look?
Yeah.
How slow is it? Does it actually play well? I almost want to buy it just out of morbid curiosity.
I'm going to buy it off of morbid curiosity.
Yeah, I just want to know. How does it perform? All right, next one. This one, dude. Oh, my God. Okay, we're getting to the ones that these are for me. These next 3... These are all for me. Actually, the next 4, the next 5 are all for me.
Oh my goodness.
So, Amplitude Studios, the guys who make Endless Space, Endless Legend, they're 4X strategy games in the vein of Civilization, are trying their hand at the Civilization game. So they announced a game called Humankind, which is going to be a, quote, historical 4X that basically is going to be in the vein of Civilization. Firaxis's 4X franchise, but they're going to be putting their own spin on this game. So you're not... So with Civ, when you start a game, you start in 4000 BC. And you pick a leader and you pick a civilization. And you play that leader and that civilization the entirety of the game, all the way through 2000 AD.
Okay.
This game is going to be different. You're going to pick a few. You're going to have a handful, 7 or 8 civilizations to pick from at the beginning of the game. And as you progress through the eras, you're going to have to choose a new one to switch into. And you're going to get to kind of get bonuses based on which civilizations you kind of put together. And they're going to have that. You're going to build your civilization based off kind of pieces from a bunch of different civilizations over the eras. Which is really an interesting take. I am going to be checking this game out for sure because I think Civilization needs competition. Firaxis has gotten really complacent in my opinion. They don't try very hard to make their game the game feature wise is fantastic. Gameplay wise, it sucks because the AI is terrible and they have no dedication to making it interesting or challenging. None. Zero. Zilch. They did this with Civ 5. They've done it even worse with Civ 6, and I have barely played Civ 6 because of this. So I'm kind of hoping these guys, Amplitude, their AI in Endless Space and Endless Legend is actually pretty good from my experience. So I actually have some faith in these guys. They know how to make 4X games. So if anybody's going to make this game as a competitor to Civ, I think they're the right studio to do it. And I'm looking forward to it. So that's slated for 2020. No specific date right now, but looking good. So that is also being published by Sega, which Sega is really in the strategy game realm with
they are.
With these guys, and then the Total War games as well.
Sega knows, man. Sega knows. They
know what's up. All right, next one. This one is a little obtuse. Not many people are going to know this franchise. So, 1C Entertainment announced King's Bounty 2, which is going to be a sequel to King's Bounty, which King's Bounty is a isometric turn-based strategy game. It is the precursor to Heroes of Might and Magic, which is a franchise that I love dearly. It is actually the original games came out before Heroes of Might and Magic ever came out, and then they remade King's Bounty in the mid 2000s and released 6 games in a 7-year period or something like that. And they were kind of adventure games almost. So they were strategy adventure games. But this one is going to be a third-person adventure game, sort of like The Witcher or something like that. But you're still going to fight battles on the hex-based tactical turn-based grid like you would in the old games. It's a very weird concept.
That's interesting.
Extremely weird concept. Weird enough where I am intrigued.
Yeah, that sounds actually pretty cool.
Yeah, weird enough that I'm really intrigued. So we didn't get very much. It was just an announcement. It is going to be coming in 2020 as well on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. There was a trailer with this, so if you're interested, check that out. This next one, I'm not sure about this one, but I mentioned Brigandine 2 weeks ago when we were talking about Fire Emblem, and hilarious that this happened like after I talked about that, right after I talked about that. Gamatsu found a placeholder website that has a new Brigandine game for Switch like being promoted on it. There's not much on the website. It's very bare bones, but it has a name called Brigandine Lunacia Senki for Switch, and I think this is probably going to be announced at TGS.
Okay.
Probably. I am concerned that this is going to be a Japanese-only game.
Hey, man, you can still buy it on the PlayStation, I think.
That's true. I could play it on Switch.
Yeah.
Actually, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I could import it, I guess, and like struggle through it. But yeah, as I mentioned last time I talked about this game, Brigandine is a turn-based strategy game where you have 6 different nations all trying to conquer a continent. So this being a sequel, I don't know what it's going to be. There's nothing to go on. So just keep that in mind, everybody. I'm going to talk about this game if it comes out here. So just be aware of that. All right. Next one. This is Montrell's favorite story of the day. A new Dragon Ball Z Kakarot trailer dropped, a story trailer that showed Goku and Gohan in a bunch of story scenes talking to each other, and there's some gameplay, there's some RPG gameplay and all that. Gohan has a voice actor that sounds really weird, completely threw me off because it doesn't sound like Gohan at all, and I hate it. But Goku's voice actor from the anime is in there, though.
Yeah, he is.
She is. I think it's a lady.
No, the English version's a guy.
Is it?
The American version's a guy.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
It's the Japanese version that's a woman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. This trailer, so to me, I like this trailer.
I mean,
I think this game looks fun.
It looks cool. The game, I'm not even gonna hate on the game. It looks graphically, it looks fucking beautiful. Like,
here we go. Graphically, everybody. Graphically, it looks good.
Gameplay wise, it's every Dragon Ball Z game I've played.
You think so?
Yes. Like, except for like the Budokai series.
But dude, there's gonna be like stats.
Oh, whoa!
You're gonna see like damage numbers.
It's literally Xenoverse. That's exactly what it is. It's literally Xenoverse. Like, they didn't do nothing. I would have rather had a turn-based Dragon Ball
sign
Z.
me up for that. Do you remember the old Game Boy Dragon Ball
Yes.
Z games?
Yes.
The ones that were like card games?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, those were weird as hell, but fun.
Yes. I would have rather had that than what I
You should
got.
play Fusions. Did you ever play that?
No.
That was on 3DS. It came out like a year or two ago.
No, I heard it was a good game, though.
Yeah, I think it's turn-based. It was a little weird.
Yeah, I'd rather have that than what we have. Because it looks like... it just looks like Xenoverse.
Man, I'm going to give this game a chance. They keep calling it an action RPG. I mean, dude, you give me that buzzword, I'm kind of in.
It's gonna be like Kingdom Hearts. Like, I'm sorry.
Hell yeah, baby.
No. In the bad way, though. It's gonna be like Kingdom Hearts.
No, don't do this to me.
It's gonna be like... I think it's gonna be cool to actually explore the world. Like, I think that aspect of the game is gonna be really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really digging all that, but it's just like... I was expecting, like, maybe you can do something different. Like, you can change the story outcome of things of that nature.
Or it's like an isometric ARPG like Diablo.
Yeah.
That was what I was thinking.
Yeah, or, I don't know, just try something different. Like, I like Xenoverse because they did try something different with the timelines. Like, if this happened, then this would have happened. Like, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think maybe DBZ Kakarot story should have done something like that. It's not that I don't like the game. I think it's like maybe 15 years too late. Like, if this game had came out
in the PS2 generation,
in the PS2 or PS3, even the PS3 generation, like, I think I would have been like all for it. But like, I've been through the story how many times now?
Yeah.
Like, how many times I've been? I mean, we just dropped 2 years ago or a year ago maybe. The Dragon Ball Z Fighters Z. So I mean, I've kind of already been through the story, and that game looks fucking beautiful. And,
Yeah.
And then we dropped Xenoverse. Then we dropped Xenoverse 2, and the gameplay still hasn't changed. It still looks the same.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand what they can do differently, but it still looks the same.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm gonna give it a chance. All right.
Oh my.
I'm gonna give it a
Nope,
chance.
I lumped you in
because, dude, I don't play DBZ games.
I lumped you in with the Jump Force people now.
Fuck
You're
you!
You're there.
Don't call me that. That is a grave insult, sir. Don't you even? Oh my god. No, the thing is, I don't play DBZ games.
I understand you don't play them.
I don't remember the last time I played a fucking DBZ game. The last one I played, I think, was fucking Tenkaichi.
You know what? And maybe this game is for you.
And I hated Tenkaichi.
I love Tenkaichi.
And
but maybe
this game looks like Tenkaichi, actually.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I hated Tenkaichi because it was on PS2, and the game just doesn't play well.
Yeah, that's true.
It plays like shit. I hate that. I hated that game. God.
But
so
maybe this game is for people like you who haven't played a Dragon Ball Z game in a while,
and
they want to play it. And it's definitely for the Dragon Ball fanboys. They're gonna eat this shit up. But
dude, give me those card battlers, man. Those are fun. I like those. Those are cool. Man,
oh my god.
I kind of want to play
Jump Force
that
is
game.
still selling, and I just hate anime fans. Oh my god, I hate y'all so much because we're not gonna get a good anime video game.
Nope.
Like the last good anime.
So you feel the same way about this that I do about Madden?
Yes, I feel like
so I'm part of the problem.
Yeah, I feel like there's a ton of potential. This game is actually taking a step in the right direction, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't want Dragon Ball Z. Only reason, if they were doing this game with like Yu Yu Hakusho or fucking like, I don't know, maybe Hunter x Hunter or maybe
Tenchi
Muyo or some shit like that, or fucking
even Naruto, actually.
Naruto's
never had a game like this.
Exactly. That would be really fucking cool because you can probably make your ninja the way you want to make
somebody make a Naruto game that's like an adventure game.
Or make a Naruto game. They tried it with Naruto Strikers where you can make your own ninja.
I remember that, yeah.
And I mean, I heard... But I thought that was a pretty good step in the right direction because I always wanted to make my own ninja with my own powers in the Naruto universe.
Yeah, I have like a Sharingan and then I can do like shadow clone jutsu. Yeah, or something like that.
It would be cool, but I just feel like...
You feel like they're not trying very hard.
I feel like they're trying hard, but with the wrong franchise. This franchise will make them money.
Oh, dude, they're running DBZ into the ground.
Yeah, this franchise...
DBZ's popular again, too.
Yeah.
They're taking advantage of Super, man.
Like, give me... If this... Honestly, right? Work with me. Imagine a game. Maybe like this combined with... Ooh, okay. Imagine a game... Square Enix makes this game, right?
Okay, like, Square Enix? All right.
Yes, they are making this game. So, Square Enix is making this game.
They are?
Yeah, Square Enix is behind this game.
It says CyberConnect, too.
That's Square. I mean...
That's not Square? They're an independent group.
I thought Square was doing this. Oh, no, you're right. Okay.
CyberConnect
I thought Square was doing this.
Yeah, which is the developer that Square kicked off of Final Fantasy VII Remake, which probably should ring alarm bells in all of our heads.
Yeah. So, okay. Imagine a game like this or a game like Kingdom Hearts, right? Mm-hmm. With the Sailor Moon franchise. Like you have Sailor Moon and then you have your party members with you. You got Sailor Jupiter, Sailor Venus, Sailor Mars, and you got like it don't even have to be action based. It can be turn based.
Give me a tactical turn-based Sailor Moon game.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
That game would fucking sell because that game is just as popular in my opinion.
They're not being creative. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
They're not thinking outside the box. Like, dude, a turn-based Naruto game, like a tactical turn-based Naruto game.
Yeah.
Think about the fights in that anime, right? They're so tactical and strategic.
Yes.
Like, it translates to that kind of game so perfectly. Like, you have like two squads that you control, like two of the kid squads, and it's like it's perfect. They're 4-person squads. You have your Jonin and then your 3, Genin / Chunin characters or whatever, and maybe you could make your own too, like you were talking about, that have their own unique powers, and then you get to use the story characters sometimes. Like, dude, I actually think Naruto would be perfect for a tactical strategy game because there's so many characters.
I agree with you.
There's so much in there, and the
you can play through the Great Ninja Wars.
dude, you can play through the entire Naruto storyline, and the environments that you get to play in are so interesting. There's tons of forest environments that you can use, but then you have the cloud area, the cloud ninja village, the one in the hidden mist.
Oh yeah,
early in the game with like Zabuza and stuff like that at that Great Bridge.
Yep.
Like that'd be a cool place to fight. Then obviously like Konoha itself and stuff like that, and then the Rikage Summit area, and like there's just so many unique environments that you could have in a Naruto game.
Yeah.
That it's like, I agree with you. I think they should be thinking outside the box with these properties. And Dragon Ball Z's, honestly, to their credit over the years, they have done a lot of interesting things with it.
And that's what I'm saying. That's where I'm at the point with this game now. I'm like,
how many times?
Yeah, exactly. How many times are we gonna go through the same story? They even tried something new
with the same gameplay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I like Digimon so much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Each game is like totally different.
Yeah.
And they try stuff with that franchise. Sometimes it hits, and then sometimes it misses. Mm-hmm. But they try stuff with that franchise, and I feel like it totally pays off. And a lot of people respect the Digimon franchise as a video game franchise. To me, in my opinion, more than Pokemon. Yeah. Because Pokemon is the same shit every day.
Pokemon never tries anything.
Never tries anything. And a lot more anime games need to try. I think Dragon Ball Z Fighters was one of the most innovative fighting games to date. Like the way they did the comic book art style or the manga art style with 3D and everything like that. I want more anime fighters of that caliber. Like I don't want Jump Force. I don't want Ninja Storm. I want fighters now. Like I want Dragon Ball Z fighters. Like
2D fighter.
Yeah, 2D fighter.
I agree with you. Like, dude, when they were making all the Tenkaichi games and then the Xenoverse games, I'm like, oh, I don't want this. Like, Budokai 3 is the best. Just make a 2D fighter. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
Like, it just... And then they did it with that game. It seems... But, see, that seemed to be more of a traditional, like, almost... That's my impression of it, at least. Like, did it play like Budokai 3 at all, or was it more like Street Fighter-ish?
Which one? Fighters?
Fighters, yeah.
Fighters is more like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Really?
Like, really fast-paced.
Yeah.
Your buttons, like you have to know, negative animations, negative frames, and iframes and things of that nature. It's an actual fighter game that the FGC community is like, this is a fighting game. Like this is the fighting game we've been wanting for a while. Mm-hmm. It replaced Marvel 3.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of people like love this game.
Yeah.
It's an actual fighting game.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think anime, like, dude, a lot of these franchises, DBZ being one, Naruto being one, I'm sure One Piece even to a degree, and some of these other big ones, like, dude, they have so much potential in so many different genres that, like, I mean, action, adventure, fighting games, strategy games, turn-based strategy games,
they don't try.
Like, they don't give it a shot with any of them.
I don't even like One Piece, but One Piece would be really cool as a tactical game. Like they go to different lands too, like Naruto.
Well, tons of ships.
Of ships. Yeah, like that shit would be cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
Yeah, I get you, man. I understand where you're coming from. I just to me, like, I will say this has some appeal to me with the fact that it's like an RPG. The pure fighter is like that they did with like Xenoverse and stuff. Like those games look cool, but they're not really like, I'm not into that. I need some kind of progression.
Yeah,
to really like grab me. So we'll see. And plus, this is going to be covering the sagas that I actually like the most.
Yes, that is what I'm excited about. Those are the best sagas to cover.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, and I don't know if Boo's going to be in there, but
I hope not.
They showed Cell, so it's at least through Cell Saga.
Yeah, a lot of people consider Cell like to be the last good Dragon Ball Z saga.
Yeah.
But,
and well,
even though Boo was Dragon Ball Z,
this isn't an anime podcast, but I'm going to disagree with that sentiment. I think some parts at the end. The back half of the Boo saga is completely absurd and gets completely ridiculous.
Yes.
Where he's like absorbing everybody and whatever. The first half of the Boo saga is really fucking good.
With Big Boo or Fat Boo?
With the tournament.
Oh,
the tournament to start, which was really fun. Like, just like fun Dragon Ball Z stuff. Like, where the characters are like interacting with regular people and like they're not really like trying to hide their powers that much. Like, there's that. And then once you got to Babidi and all that stuff, I think that stuff's still really solid.
Yeah, you know what? I do like that. I like when Vegeta got taken over.
Yes, that was a really powerful moment when he got taken over, and he willingly let himself be taken over just so he could fight Goku.
Yep.
And that fight between him and Goku was really cool. And then Vegeta, like, his final moment in that saga before the back half was really, really good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
After that, it gets completely ridiculous. Once Boo gets into his second form, I kind of hate that whole saga after that. But yeah, before that, I really liked it. Anyways, whatever. I digress. Yeah, game looks interesting. It's going to be coming early 2020. So I'm going to keep my eye on it. All right, last game announcement for this week. This just dropped today, and this is probably the thing I am most excited about that we just talked about. Mega Man Zero Legacy Collection is coming out January 21st, 2020, everybody.
So you did mention this on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, or I remember I was just playing Mega Man. I put that in there, and you did mention this game, and as soon as I saw it, I had to tag you in it, but you already saw it.
Hell yeah. No, I'd already seen it. Yeah. Google knows. Google knows me. It knew what to do. But no, dude, like this so yeah, this is going to be a collection of 6 games. All 4 Mega Man Zero games, which are the 4 Game Boy Advance games, and then 2 Mega Man ZX games on DS, ZX and ZX Advent. Mega Man Zero is a extremely underrated Mega Man franchise, in my opinion.
Yes,
like
it is.
These 4 games are extremely good games.
A lot of hardcore Mega Man fans would agree with you.
They're not structured like traditional Mega Man games. They're actually like open world adventure games, not like 3D. They're side scrollers still, but there's exploration, there's quests and stuff.
I know you I don't like that term, but it's like a Metroidvania style type game.
Yeah, a little bit. There's still like traditional levels. Like when you actually go into a level, it's like old Mega Man, where you're in that level for the whole level. And stuff like that. But dude, these games, these 4 games are so good. They are extremely hard. They added something in the trailer. They said they added mid-mission saving, which was not a thing in the original game, which is why it was so difficult.
Okay.
I don't know how this is going to work, because the way the game worked was, the reason it was so hard, the game wasn't actually that hard per se. It was just that if you wanted to get upgrades, like health upgrades, weapon upgrades and stuff like that, you got them within the level, and then you had to beat the level with an S rank to keep the upgrade.
Wow.
If you didn't do that, the upgrade would only last for the level itself. So, that made it extremely hard, because S ranks were, trying to get an S rank in this game, like, you had to basically not get hit. You had to beat the level in like 3 minutes. Like, you had to be perfect. You had to play so well in order to do it. And I did it on 2 of these, on Mega Man 0, 1, and 2.
Yeah.
I was like a psycho with it. And dude, like, it was super fun, but also super frustrating, because it was really hard. Like, if you fucked up, you have to start over, basically. Okay. So I don't know how the mid-mission saves is going to affect that, that kind of mechanic. But also, the ZX games, ZX and ZX Advent, are actually, they're pretty good games in their own right as well. I don't think, they're definitely like my least favorite Mega Man games that I've ever played.
Yeah.
But they're still solid. They clearly at this point had kind of lost their way with what they wanted to do with Mega Man.
All their games to me.
Yeah, but these were still fun Mega Man games. They still played pretty well. So
this gives me hope, though, that they may actually bring the Battle Network series, because I really love the Battle Network series.
I think that's next.
Yeah,
I think it's obvious that's probably next, I would imagine. And honestly, I never played those, and I will totally play those.
Those are like turn-based.
Yes, they're weird. They're kind of, it's hard to explain.
Yeah, man, I can't explain it to you, because it's fast-paced as well.
It's not really turn-based. It's action.
Yeah,
but you're on like a grid.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to like position your character and use specific, like, didn't you have like cards you had to use and stuff like that?
Yeah. And you had certain turns you can move them and everything. And it was really tactical, but fun as hell and rewarding.
Yeah, so those games, I kind of hope we get that, because I would love to play those games. I never played them.
Yeah, really. I think you'll love them, man.
Yeah, I think I would too. And, dude, I remember when they were around, man, Mega Man was like popping, dude, back in the early 2000s. Like Game Boy Advance, like early DS days, man. Mega Man was popping, dude. Like, And then they just let it go dormant for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's been disappointing. So I'm kind of hoping, dude, I'm hoping we get a new X game. That would be great.
Yes.
And
I
honestly,
hope we get a Legends game. That Legends game that was canceled.
Well, what I'm kind of hoping is that the X game is or maybe they do a new Mega Man game. I don't know. But, they do a Mega Man game. They kind of just throw... maybe they keep doing side-scrollers. Right?
Yeah.
Do Mega Man 12 or whatever. And keep doing side-scrollers. But then they do an offshoot that's I think Mega Man could be really cool as, a third-person action game.
Oh, yeah. I think so, too.
You know?
Remember a while ago, they had that trailer. It was a 5-minute or 6-minute gameplay trailer of Mega Man first person.
No.
And it looked...
What was this for?
I think it was going to be for the Xbox or something like that. They canceled it though. But everyone saw it and was like, why is this not a thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but anyways, it's going to be $30 and I highly recommend these. If you like Mega Man X, I think these games are a really natural extension of the X series, in my opinion. And Zero is really fun to play as. No joke. Dude, you get to use it's what you always wanted when you were a kid, right? When you were playing Mega Man X. You were oh man, Zero's so cool. I want to play Zero. Well, yeah, you get to play Zero in these games. And it's fucking badass. So, highly recommend for me. All right, let's move on. New game releases. There is a lot coming out this week, dude. We got WoW Classic launch yesterday. Obviously, you all know that. There's also Astral Chain is coming out this Friday as well, which is day of release for this podcast. So if you're looking forward to that. Control came out today, which is the game that I was talking about from Remedy.
Oh, shit. I forgot all about that.
This is a third-person action game.
This is kind of a bad week for them to release their game.
You play somebody that's a telekinetic...
Yeah, time manipulator type person. Yeah,
something like that. Game sounds really cool, so that one's kind of in the back of my head now,
that
too.
studio always has really interesting ideas. I think they just need time to capitalize on it. Hopefully this game is their game.
Yep. And then Bubsy, Paws on Fire.
Okay. You should kill yourself. Why is this game still alive?
I just had to say it, dude.
Why is this franchise
there's
still
a
alive?
Lord of the Rings adventure card game.
Okay. I mean, it's still not the Lord
It's on
of the
all
Rings.
platforms.
The Lord of the Rings I want. It's not that.
Blair Witch.
Oh my god.
That game that was announced at E3 is coming out.
Okay.
And then, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a lot of games. It's just a lot of small stuff, though, besides those three I mentioned. Anything jumping out to you?
Yeah, Astral Chain. I think I'm going to buy that this weekend.
Dude,
actually.
I know.
I'm going to buy that this weekend. I'm probably not going to play it, but I'm going to fucking buy it.
Black Friday this year is going to be off the hook for me. I'm going to be saving half of these games for Black Friday. To buy them all on Black Friday, because I'm not gonna have time to play them when they come out. So I'm just gonna accept that, and I'm just gonna buy them all Black Friday. And oh my god,
yeah, because there's a couple of games I missed this year.
December and January are gonna be the greatest months of my life.
I hope it's really cold.
I do too.
I
hope it's really cold. I hope it snows a lot.
And I hope
we never get snow, but I hope it snows a lot.
Yeah,
and I can just play video games.
No one wants to do anything.
And I hope by then World of Warcraft works.
Yes.
All right, guys. I think that is going to be it for us this week. Pretty good show, meaty show, a lot of good news. If you enjoyed the show, please like the show, review the show, subscribe to the show on whatever feed you're listening to it on, and please share it with your friends. We would like to grow the audience. We've noticed a little bit of growth recently. Our average listeners have kind of gone up, so that's been pretty good. If you'd like to interact with either of us, you can do so on Twitter at iTrapForTheHokage. That is a number 4, not the word. That is for Montrell. For me, you can hit me up at the at Thundernut01. God, I'm having a seizure. And for the podcast, it's at The Player's Take. If you'd like to send questions to us, you can do that on Twitter, or you can send it to our email, theplayerstake01@gmail.com. Next week, I'm sure we're going to talk about World of Warcraft. and whatever else we've been playing.
Yeah.
And whatever else, whatever news comes out. Who knows?
I think Tokyo Game Show's next week.
Is it?
I think so.
Might be after we record, though.
Yeah.
We'll see. If it isn't, we'll have some news from it, I'm sure. But we hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we will see you guys on the next one. All right? Bye, guys.